Welcome back to Trails with Dale. Today we're going to Lighthouse Park in West Vancouver and I am so excited. What do you think we're going to see at Lighthouse Park in West Vancouver?
That's a good question. Well, we don't know what we're going to see until we go out there, but
Right.
Beacon Lane Trail is the trail we're going to take. We're going to go and explore the conifer forest. It's a very thick conifer forest, has old growth sections as well. And we might see a little bit of deciduous elements in there too. So let's head on out there and check it out.
Awesome, let's go. So what kind of tree is this, Dale?
This one is a Douglas fir tree. So one of the tallest trees in BC. It is also known for its very, very thick bark.
How come the tree's bark is so thick?
Well, Douglas fir like to grow in drier areas, which makes them susceptible to another natural force, it's fires.
Right.
And so this thick bark is like a fireproof suit.
Awesome.
As long as the fire doesn't crown the tree and head right up, and you can see this tree's actually seen a bit of fires and it's still living because of this fireproof, excellent heavy bark that it has. This one is a particularly large one and grand in that size because it's probably been here for hundreds of years, maybe even a couple hundred years. This is a very large tree.
Awesome. All right, so what kind of tree is this, Dale?
This one is a Western Red Cedar. Western Red Cedars are a softwood tree. And they are have some very stringy bark, as you noticed before. They are also a deciduous or a conifer.
I think they are a conifer tree.
You got it. They're a conifer tree because they are evergreen. They have not quite needles, but if you look way up, you'll see scales on them. You can also tell it's a cedar because it's got that softer bark. You can actually feel how soft it is. A lot softer than that Douglas fir.
Why is the bark different?
It's just that's the way cedars are. So it's endemic to cedars that they have that kind of softer bark. They also don't have that fireproofing because they like really wet environments. So they only grow in very moist areas, moist forests like the coastal forest that we have here. The really interesting thing about this tree is that it's actually it's sort of the tree of BC.
Oh.
Yeah, it was very important in First Nations, and also a lot of things were made from this tree, from things like dresses, rope, canoes. All these things were very, and so this tree was very sacred, and this is a very nice, a beautiful one as well. So this one in particular, I like this one.
Wonderful. So here we are in front of an arbutus tree, which Dale was telling me is a very special case in a carnivorous and deciduous trees. What's the deal with this tree, Dale?
Well, this is a pretty cool deciduous tree. It has big, broad leaves, like a deciduous tree, but they're evergreen. They don't shed their leaves. In fact, they're more like a conifer in that way, and they keep them all year round. So they can get sunshine and they can grow in all these weird environments. You can see how shapely it is. It's got a very odd growing pattern, and it kind of seeks out the light wherever it can find it, in a very dense wood too. So
What happens to this tree in the winter?
in the winter time, it does something totally crazy. It actually loses its bark.
Wow.
In the winter, and you can see some of it starting to peel off right now, and then it grows back during the year, and it does that cycle. Instead of losing its leaves like deciduous trees usually do, it loses its bark.
Cool. So if it's not a coniferous tree, then how does it reproduce? How do you get more arbutus trees?
Well, what we call that is this kind of tree is an angiosperm. So gymnosperms are conifer trees that have naked seeds, so they don't have any protection on their seeds. This one does. It has protection on the seed in a form of a fruit. And I thought I saw some fruits on this one. They might be just too old or too dry right now, but these ones have fruit.
Oh, maybe this stuff?
There's one right there. Well, an old one. So inside that fruit, in that covering, and that's just a bunch of old leaves, the shell of it, they have that seed. So just like when you're eating an apple.
just arrived back from our trip to Lighthouse Park in West Vancouver, where we went down the Beacon Lane Trail, which was full of beautiful trees.
We saw some great old growth Douglas fir trees and some great conifer forests, as well as that arbutus tree that we took a look at.
That was so cool.
Great, lovely forest to walk in.
Awesome. And if you like videos like this and you want to see some more, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget, the Science World is a charitable organization dedicated to advancing science literacy to all British Columbians. So if you're interested in supporting us that way, you can go to scienceworld.ca/donate.